Hi everybody, I'm Nicole and behind me is Gina and Tiffany. Gina and I are certified yoga instructors. Tiffany is a certified spinning and spenga instructor, and we came together to offer you some yoga today. This is a pretty basic sequence, but we'll offer some modifications and also some amplifications so that you can do what you're used to doing on your mat with all of your friends, but have options to make it just a little bit easier or even just a little bit harder. So thanks for joining us, and we're so excited to practice and be on our mats with you. All right, girls, let's get in child's pose. This part of our practice is referred to as integration. It's our opportunity to really be at peace with the self, come onto our mat, unite mind, body, and spirit. Take deep breaths in through the nose and deep breaths out through the nose. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose is referred to as Ujjayi Pranayama. It's the breath that warms and heats the body, that allows us to get in touch with ourselves. And in these moments, we're settling the hips back into the heels, reaching the arms forward. What brings you to your mat today? What type of energy would you like to choose? In this time, know that you can affirm whatever you wish to have happen, that you can choose peace over panic. You can choose kindness over chaos. You can choose faith over fear. And in these moments, remind yourself that things may not be as you're used to them being, and at the same time, you are able to manage those changes. You can rise to the occasion. If it means that you rest a little more, do things a little differently, remember that the strongest souls are the ones that are able to change as times change. That builds resilience. Take another deep breath in through the nose and breathe out through the nose. On your next inhale, lift up to all fours, tabletop pose. Uniting the breath and the body for a few cat and cow movements. Drop the belly, lift the head and the tail. Inhaling, cow pose. Exhale, drop the head, round the spine for cat pose. Inhale, cow pose. Exhale, cat pose. One more time, breathe in, cow pose. Breathe out, cat pose. Inhale back to a neutral spine. Step one foot back and then the other, plank pose, high push-up. And right here where your hands and your feet are is your setup for your downward facing dog. Imagine pressing the mat away with your hands. Take a breath in. Exhale, lift your hips, downward facing dog. Spread the fingers wide, shift the shoulders onto the back. Feel the belly button engage towards the spine. And draw the heels down towards the mat. Don't focus on whether or not they touch. Focus on shifting more weight into the lower body. Focus on stretching the backs of the legs. Inhale, lift the heels nice and high. Exhale, let the heels melt towards the earth. Inhale, lift the heels nice and high. Now bend the knees to a hover. The shins are parallel with the mat. We know this as turbo dog. Straighten the legs back to down dog. Lift the heels. Bend the knees to your turbo dog. Shift forward, plank pose. Hold the plank. Builds a lot of heat. Taps you back into your strength. Downward facing dog. Uniting with breath. Inhale, lift the heels. Exhale, turbo dog. Inhale, plank pose. Exhale, downward facing dog. Doing it again, lift your heels, bend your knees, plank, downward facing dog. One more time, lift your heels, turbo dog, plank pose, downward facing dog. This time we will lift the heels, bend the knees, and make your way to the top of the mat, ragdoll. Grab opposite elbows, let the head hang heavy, release the neck. Imagine folding in as close to your legs as you're able. Press the soles of the feet into the mat, the mound of the big toe, the pinky toe edge, the heel. When we connect with our earth, it helps us to feel grounded. And this is a time that feeling grounded might feel really good. Inhale. Exhale, release your hands. Heel toe your feet closer together, big toes touch. Inhale, hands to shins, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Root down through your feet and as slow as you want to go. Inhale, rise all the way up, reaching arms to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart center, eyes to close. What affirmation, what positive thought do you want to repeat? Do you want to manifest? Set your energy on it, set your focus on it. Breathe it in. And breathe it out. Inhale, reach up and look up. Open the eyes. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway, hands to shins, flat back and shoulders back. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, step back to plank pose. And Gina will go first and she'll show you a chaturanga, a low plank. She shifts forward on her toes, lowers halfway, rolls over the toes, lifts the heart, upward facing dog, and back to downward facing dog. Tiffany will show you a modification, keeping the elbows close to her body. She lowers her body all the way down to the mat. Slide the heart through, the rest of her body's on the mat. Inhale, lift, it's a cobra. Lower the forehead, back up to knees, downward facing dog. So again, you can amplify by using your chaturanga or jumping back, as we'll see, or you can modify by dropping just knees or the whole body to the mat. We'll keep moving. Lift your heels, bend your knees, top of the mat. Lift halfway, forward fold. Take a big breath in as you rise all the way up. Exhale, fold all the way down. Lift halfway, flat back. Exhale, fold. Step back, plank. Gina will lower to a low plank halfway, roll over the toes. Her thighs lift up off the mat. She's on the tops of her feet, downward facing dog. And Tiffany will lower her knees to the mat, then lower halfway down into a cobra. And her legs now are on the mat. Lower the forehead, back to knees, downward facing dog. Good. Let's take a couple breaths here. Deep breaths in through the nose. Deep breath out through the nose. Deep breath in through the nose. Fill it up. Hold it. Open the mouth and breathe it out. Lift your heels. Bend your knees. Top of the mat. Lift halfway. Forward fold. Rise all the way up. Fold all the way down. Lift halfway. And Gina will show you a jump back. So on the exhale, the hands plant and you jump straight back to a chaturanga. Upward facing dog and down dog. Tiffany will plant her hands to the mat, step back right to downward facing dog, just in case you ever just want to skip that vinyasa. Take a few breaths here. So just to remind you again, and our yogis we practice with know this, you can lower your whole body your knees, chest and chin, or you can skip that vinyasa. You can also jump back to a chaturanga, which is also a low plank. One more sun salutation. Lift your heels, bend your knees, come to the top of the mat. Lift halfway, forward fold. Rise up, bow forward. Lift halfway, vinyasa. Step back, high to low push-up. Lift your heart, and then lift your hips. 3 breaths. In these moments of quiet and stillness, reaffirm your affirmation. Reaffirm why you came to your mat today. And maybe you're practicing from home and you didn't really want to, but guess what? You don't have to, you get to. And remind yourself of that, of everything that you get to do. And it may not be what you planned, but it doesn't have to be a bad thing. It can be a really cool thing. Moving into our sun bees. Sun bees really help us to awaken. We'll feel the blood pumping. We'll feel our heart beating faster, creating more warmth. Lift your heels, bend your knees, come to the top of the mat. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Inhale, reach up, chair pose. In chair pose, the weight is in the heels. The hips sink low, squeeze the thighs together. Arms reach to the sky. Biceps are by your ears. At the same time, shrugging the shoulders down the back. Sink just a little lower. Breath in. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale to your vinyasa. Step or jump back, high to low push-up. Upward facing dog or cobra. Downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your right leg to the sky. You can just hold it here, or on your next exhale, you can bring your knee into your nose. Sneak in a little core work. Get it as close as you can. Enjoy it. Get even closer. Good. The shoulders shift above the wrists. Then inhale, lift the right leg high. Exhale, place the right foot between the thumbs. Bring the left heel down to the mat. Inhale, warrior one. In warrior one, the soles of both feet are on the mat. You're pressing through the left foot, even through the pinky toe. The right knees over the right ankle. Reaching tall. Breath in. And on your breath out, open up warrior two. The spine is tall here. We're not leaning forward, we're not leaning back. Energy through both sets of fingertips. Look out over the front middle finger. Guide the right knee over to the right pinky toe. Yeah. Press into the feet, stay deep in the lunge. Inhale, reverse warrior, reach up and back. This pose delivers a nice side body stretch. Tiffany's showing the option to bind the left arm, reaching it around the low back and tucking it into the right hip. Take one more breath in. Exhale, sweep the arms down to the mat. Vinyasa, stepping back, high to low push-up. Upward facing dog or cobra to downward facing dog. Time for the other side. Inhale, the left leg to the sky. Exhale, draw your knee in towards your nose. You could also just hold it. Get as close as you can. You're almost shifting onto the tippy toes of the right foot. Inhale, send the left leg high. Mindfully place the left foot between the hands as you breathe out. Right heel comes down. Inhale up, warrior one. The key things to look at home here are just the knee and ankle alignment, that the knee is shooting forward. It's over the ankle. You can even pull back on the left hip and send the right hip a little bit forward. The foundation of your feet is really critical here. Really press into the feet. Inhale. Exhale, warrior two, opening. Still looking forward. And maybe you just lunge a little deeper. Always can find that little extra bit. Inhale, reach up and back. And again, the option for that half bind just gives a nice little shoulder rinse. Deep breath in. Exhale, hands down to the mat, stepping back through your vinyasa. So in our first round, typically, we hold the poses a little longer. It gives us a chance to really land, to really feel that moment of arriving in each pose. And then comes the really fun part of moving one breath, one movement. This movement lets us get out of our heads, into our strong bodies, have a little fun, feel your blood flow. Here we go. Lift your heels, bend your knees, top of the mat. Lift halfway, fold in. Inhale, chair pose, sweep it up. Exhale, forward fold. Lift halfway, and step or jump back. High to low, upward facing dog to downward facing dog. Inhale the right leg to the sky. Exhale, knee comes in towards nose. Inhale, lift. Exhale, step. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, hands to the mat to vinyasa. Inhale, left leg to the sky. Exhale, knee towards nose. Inhale, lift. Step forward on your exhale. Inhale, warrior one. Open up. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, hands to the mat to vinyasa. Take a couple breaths here. Deep breaths in through the nose. Deep breaths out through the nose. And this time, take a deep breath in. Hold for a pause. Open your mouth, let it go. Exhale. Let's do that sun salutation B one more time. Lift your heels. Bend your knees. Top of the mat. Lift halfway. Forward fold. Reach up for chair pose. Forward fold. Lift halfway. Vinyasa. Remember, you can modify, you can skip it, you can make it fancy. Right leg to the sky. Knee draws in towards nose. Lift up. Step through. Warrior one. Warrior two. Reverse warrior. Vinyasa. Left leg to the sky. Knee to nose. Lift up. Step through. Warrior one. Warrior two. Reverse warrior. Vinyasa. Take a few breaths here. You also have the option to come to child's pose for a few breaths as well. Let's share a deep breath in. Open the mouth, let it go. From downward facing dog, let's once again reunite breath and movement after that little pause. Inhale, shift forward, plank pose. Exhale, downward facing dog. Remember, the hands and feet don't move. The core is doing all of the work here. Inhale, shift forward, plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, plank pose. And we can add the challenge, exhale, low plank. Inhale, plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. One more time. Shift forward, plank pose. Lower halfway. Lift up. Down dog. Gonna take a breath here. Then let the breath go. Inhale, lift the right leg to the sky. Pause there, point the toes down. The heel lifts. Inhale. Bring the right knee to the right tricep. Lift it back up. Right knee can come to the right tricep again. And maybe hold it for just a few pauses. 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift the right leg. That's my roommate. Knee to left tricep. Good. Obliques engage as you cross over. Lift back up. We'll hold it again this time. I know you can do it. Bring the right knee to the left tricep. Good. Keep breathing. Engage the obliques. You've got it. Try to lift the knee a little higher. I knew you could. Lift it back up. Step the right foot between the hands. Pause here in your runner's lunge. The left leg lifts towards the sky and the hips shift forward. Tiffany will show you the modification here. She'll drop her left knee and reach the arms up for a kneeling crescent lunge. And Gina will reach the arms to the sky and her left leg is lifted off the mat. And this pose introduces us to balance. And the funny thing is the only thing that's really in a crescent lunge position that's off the mat is our heel. And already we feel that all of those muscles that help us with balance are very active. Take a breath in once you've established your grounding. And exhale, take a prayer twist over to the right. The left elbow hooks on the right thigh. Tiffany will also show you that you can have a tall torso and take an open arm twist as well. If your left knee is lifted, keep lifting that left knee towards the sky. Inhale. Exhale your hands to the mat, framing the right foot. And rise up, warrior 2. Regrounding. Take the time to land, there's no rush. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, warrior 2. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, modified side angle. The right forearm comes to the right thigh. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, modified side angle or extended side angle. Reaching the right hand to the inside of the right foot. Keep the right knee over the right ankle. You want to make sure we don't cave in the right thigh. Reach high. And press to the left side of the left foot. One more breath in. Exhale, both hands to the mat, back to your runner's lunge. And you can do this the fun challenging way or the fun modified way. So Gina will show you, she's just going to step her right foot straight back to meet the left for side plank, reaching right arm high. And Tiffany will show you that you can also step back to downward facing dog and either enter side plank from here or drop the left knee to the mat for a modified side plank. Reach up through the side body and reach the right arm as high to the sky as you can. Gina will lift her right foot a little higher to show you she's in a starfish and lifting the right leg high as well for that added challenge. One more breath in. Exhale, downward facing dog. Feel free to hang out here if you'd like to take a vinyasa. Inhale, forward to plank. Exhale, low plank, your version. Inhale, lift your heart. And exhale, lift your hips. Good. Time for the left side. Left leg lifts. We hold it there. Toes point down, heel point up. Breath in. Exhale the left knee to the left tricep. Get it as close, nice. Tap it, lift it up. Left knee, left tricep. This time hold it. Invite that added challenge. Lift it back up. This time tap the left knee to the right tricep, engaging the obliques. Lift up. Left knee to right tricep. Hold it there because I know you can. Hold it there because what else are you doing today? Feel those obliques nice and strong. Lift back up. And step through runner's lunge. And again, you can drop the right knee to the mat and then reach the arms up for a kneeling crescent. Sometimes we call that dragon. Or you can reach up. I just like to point out that the sun came out, which is awesome. Breath in. On the breath out, prayer twist to the left. This time, right elbow hooking over left thigh. In these poses, especially when you're twisting and you're not looking straight ahead, find a focal point. That's called drishti. Just look at something not moving. It'll help you so much to stay steady. You could be here all day. Inhale. Exhale your hands to the mat. And bring the right heel down. Inhale, warrior two. We'll stay here for the exhale and for another couple breaths to truly land, to show up. Legs stay strong in the lunge. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, modified side angle. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, extended side angle, or you can stay in modified. Another nice reminder to keep the soles of both feet engaged. Feel that connection to the mat. Inhale. Exhale, hands to the mat. And again, side plank. Which way you go is up to you. Gina will step right back. Tiff stepped right back, and she'll show you modified as well. Right knee will come down to the mat. No matter where you are, left arm reaching nice and high. Lift up through the side body. Just push that mat away from you as you get nice and tall and find extension. For one more breath in. And then breathe out to downward facing dog. Option to shift forward into plank to vinyasa. Low plank, upward facing dog, downward facing dog. We just completed our first Vitality series. Now moving into the next one. These are principles we learned from Baptiste. It's just such a beautiful flow and a great way to just hit every body part, stretch every muscle, and just connect with you. Lift your heels, bend your knees, top of the mat. Lift halfway, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose. Stay for the exhale. Truly land. Inhale. Exhale, open arm twist to the right. Imagine the heart space just opening wide. Tuck the left hip back. Inhale, reach back up, chair pose. Exhale, prayer twist to the right. Or of course you can still do the open arm option as well. Feel the weight in the heels. Keep the knees even. Often on this twist, you have to tuck the left hip back. Inhale, back up through chair. Exhale, forward fold. Take a halfway lift, reset the spine. Fold back in. Take the feet hip distance. And take the forward fold of your choice. You can grab the big toes with the peace finger and the thumbs. Gorilla pose invites the hands under the feet. You might even prefer ragdoll. Release the head and neck. Release the feet, heel toe the feet back together. Lift halfway, forward fold. Inhale, chair. Stay for the exhale. Breath in. Exhale, open arm twist to the left. Inhale, chair. Exhale, prayer twist to the left. Just wanted to show you both options for twisting. Tuck the right hip back on this side. Weight still in the heels. Maybe those hips go just a little lower. Inhale, back up, chair pose. Exhale, forward fold. Lift halfway. Forward fold. Heel toe the feet out nice and wide, setting up a yogi squat. If you have a block at home, feel free to sit on your block. Sit on a stack of books, whatever you need. In this pose, we work towards having a tall spine. The elbows press the knees open, aligning shoulders over hips. This is also the part of the practice that many of you are familiar, that you can go for crow if that's in your practice. Anyone up for crow? That's my other roommate, by the way. And guess what? Since you're at home right now, now's the perfect time to work on jumping back to chaturanga from crow. Remember, it's all from the core. And guess what? You're gonna fall before you get it right. Hands to the mat, lift those hips. Walk the feet back together. Lift halfway. Forward fold. Inhale, take a stand. Stretch as tall as you can. Reach up. Maybe you even reach back. Then bring the hands to the heart. Working on our foundation in tree pose. And it's a foundation pose, and it's also an equanimity and balance pose, because we have to have a strong connection in order to rise and fly. Root the left foot into the mat, and take the right foot anywhere, basically above or below the knee. So Tiffany will show you one of our easier modifications. The foot is right around the ankle. Gina's got her foot a little higher. And again, you might have to do this with, just depending on the day, the big toe on the mat. Some days our balance is awesome, sometimes it's less than, and either way, it is what it is. On your next exhale, plant both feet on the mat. Shake it out if you need to. Let's do tree pose on the other side. Right foot plants. take the left foot either to the ankle, the shin, or the thigh. We just often want to stay off the knee. Knee's busy enough doing stabilization for us. It's one of those days, right? It happens. And go ahead, both feet on the mat. And let's fly one more time. Inhale, lift the right leg into the chest. Lift the right knee. Sorry. Flex the toes towards the face. Send the right leg back, airplane pose. So your airplane pose may look like this, or you may have your right big toe on the mat. Lift up through the standing leg, reach back through the fingertips. One more breath in, and exhale, back on the mat, both feet. Shake it out if you need to. Lift the left knee up into the chest. Flex the toes towards the face. And when you're ready, just send the left leg back, airplane pose. Heart shines forward. Point the toes down. And take your time and land both feet. Inhale, reach the arms up nice and high. Exhale, forward fold. Lift halfway. Hands to the mat, lunge just the left leg back, runner's lunge. Lift the hips, straighten the right leg, pyramid pose. Pyramid pose is one of our grounding poses. We've been talking a lot about that. The soles of both feet are on the mat. You know these are your triangle poses. We're doing pyramid today. Shift the left hip forward, the right hip back. If you find that it's challenging to keep both feet firmly on the ground, that probably means you need to bring the left foot forward a little bit, shortening your stance. Walk the hands over to the left, taking a standing straddle fold. Got a lot of variations here you can do. You can walk the hands under the body and towards the back of your mat. If you're feeling adventurous, this is a great starting point for a tripod or a headstand. If that's something you've been working on. You can interlace the hands at the low back, do a shoulder rinse. And release the hands to the mat. Walk the hands back towards the top of the mat. Rebend the right knee. Look forward and step forward to a fold. Halfway lifts. Fold in. Let's stand up. Get really tall. Forward fold. Lift halfway. Hands to the mat. This time lunge the right leg back. Runner's lunge. Shift the hips back, pyramid pose. Left hip comes back, right hip shifts forward. Both legs are straight and strong, both feet are grounded. Walk your hands over to the right, standing straddle fold. And again, you have options here for whatever might feel good for your body. You could even place one hand down underneath your face and send the other arm high. Inviting twist to open through the torso, looking up. if that strains your neck, you can always still look down, and then just change sides. And both hands are coming down. Walk to the top of the mat. Bend the knee a lot, step forward to a fold. Lift halfway, fold in. One more time, stand tall, stretch it out, reach up and reach back. Forward bend. Lift halfway. Last vinyasa. Shift forward, high push-up, plank pose. Back to down dog. Shift forward. Shift back. Shift forward. And lower all the way to your belly, keeping the elbows nice and close. Good. Come onto your forearms for Sphinx pose. Lift up. Just offering a really gentle back bend, heart opener here. Just feel release down the back body. Sometimes we might tend to clench our upper or lower back or our glutes here. Give yourself permission to let that go. Let's take one more breath in. And exhale, lower onto your stacked forearms for crocodile pose, one of my favorites. Slowly press back to child's pose. Child's pose offers a counter pose after the back bending to release the low back. Slowly lift up and come onto your seat. A hip opener we'll use today is double pigeon. This is the part of the practice, if you're someone who practices regularly, that you could choose half pigeon, frog. You have a lot of options here. We'll model double pigeon. So stack the right shin on top of the left. If you find that that's not comfortable for you, or your right knee is lifting up quite a bit, you can also place the right knee in front of the right shin. Tiffany, I'll show you that. It looks kind of like an easy seat. Good. So either right shin on top or in front. You might be just comfortable right here and feel great here, or you might want to reach the arms up to the sky. And leading with the heart, just melt forward. Walk the hands back until you're sitting up tall. You can pause the video if you want to hold it for longer. It might feel really good for you. Before we go to the other side, place the soles of both feet on the mat and just windshield wiper your knees from side to side. And then sit up the other side. Know that although right side informs left, it doesn't dictate it. So if you can go deeper on one side, that's pretty normal. Left shin on top of right, or left shin in front of right. Now once you're set up here, you might feel your best just sitting up tall, closing your eyes and breathing, or reaching the arms to the sky and leading with the heart and melting forward. Again, we're holding just a few breaths here. Feel free to pause the video if you'd like to hold longer. Walk the hands back, sitting up tall. And again, put the soles of the feet on the mat, windshield wiper from side to side.
Extend both legs long out in front of you. Let's take a few breaths in a forward fold. Flex the toes back towards the face. Tall torso. Inhale, arms to the sky. Exhale, lead with your heart and melt over your legs. Release the head, release the neck. Just ragdoll your way back up. And onto your back. In a pose I don't recommend that you skip is either shoulder stand or waterfall. So if you don't have a block, all you have to do is just send the legs up to the sky. That's waterfall. Shoulder stand lifts those hips up over the shoulders. As you evolve this pose, the elbows get closer together. You lift more onto the shoulders, and you'll find that the ankles, the knees, the hips, and the shoulders are in line. Remember, these poses, many of them, they're a process. Full expression rarely comes in the first attempt. Practice, it's a process, it takes time. And again, this may be a part where you might pause the video and hold your inversion as long as you like. We hold these inversions in yin sometimes for even 5 to 7 minutes. And if there's any pose I would encourage you to do during this time, it would be an inversion. Inversions reduce inflammation in the body, they reduce stress, they're good for headaches and migraines. It's one of the best ways to detoxify other than water. Take your time, lower down. We'll counter pose. Tiffany will show you reclining butterfly, feet together, knees wide. And Gina will show you fish pose. It might be hard to see from that angle, but what happens is she lifts up onto her forearms, the legs are out long, and then she tips the head back. These are both great counter pose options. Both release the throat chakra, release the spine. And Gina will lower down. With Gina and Tiffany, will hug the knees into the chest. Again, if you're familiar with yoga, you'll know that we often end our practices with a twist. Let the knees drop over to the right side. Arms open wide, turn your face to the left. These reclining twists relax the central nervous system, sending messages of peace and relaxation. Bring the knees back through center. Let them fall to the left. Turn your face to the right. Bring everything back to center. Give yourself a huge hug. Wrap your arms around your shins. You might massage the spine, moving back and forth. And now, often our favorite part of the practice, release onto your mat. Release into Shavasana. And I encourage you here to take a Shavasana as long as you would like. Whatever feels good, whatever sounds good. Leaving you with a couple words of encouragement that yoga is here for you anytime you want. You can do yoga for a few minutes, for an hour. Yoga is also returning back to your intention and to what matters to you. So in these last couple moments, remind yourself that you can seek peace whenever you want to, calm whenever you want to. It's all up to you what you choose. Thank you for practicing with us, and we hope to see you back in the studios pretty soon.